Hello and welcome to Hot at Home, Your Questions Answered. I am Jackie and today's question is from Issy, one of my subscribers. Issy says, Dear Jackie, I do appreciate your effort. It gives hope to some of us who have lost it. Thanks a lot. My question is, how can I reduce my very fat legs? I have tried walking a long distance every evening, yet they are still very fat. Please help me. I need to slip on a short skirt again. Thank you. Issy. Well, thank you, first of all, for letting me know that I'm giving hope to people who have lost it. But please don't lose hope, because it's not hopeless. It's not a hopeless situation at all. I mean, there's always things you can do to, get the process moving again. If you're on a plateau or, you're stalled or whatever, there's always stuff that can be done. So anyway, to address your issue with the legs, I first of all want to make sure that you're aware that fat is a global thing on your body. It's not a thing that you can spot reduce a specific way or do a specific kind of exercise to get a specific part of your body to lose a specific amount of fat. It just can't be done. You have to lose fat overall on your body and trust that it will come off of the area that you're trying to lose the fat on as well while this process is happening. To me it sounds like your legs are actually your problem area. So that'll be the area that's like the most frustrating, hangs on to fat the most. My problem area is my tummy. When I want to get really, really lean, I do find that the rest of me looks really lean, but I still have like extra fat on my stomach that I wish I could get off. But as well, when I do get lean enough, that fat does come off because it really has no choice. Once I'm getting lean enough, there's nowhere else for the fat to come from. It will come off. But your problem area is probably your legs by the sounds of things. If your legs are looking fatter to you than the rest of your body, then maybe your body is hanging on to fat on your legs more. So walking is a great way to burn fat while you're doing it, and I support that method of burning fat. But please know that just because you're using your legs to do the exercise doesn't mean it's targeting your legs as the place where you'll lose the fat from. You'll lose fat globally all over your body. So what you need to do is make sure that your calories are below maintenance. So 200 or 300 calories per day below maintenance. Not crazy starving levels, but just 200 or 300 calories a day less than your maintenance level. And try and burn even more calories with working out, which you're doing with walking. If you can up the intensity and turn it into running or hill sprints or stuff like that, that would be a good thing for you. Also, you should probably try doing some weightlifting stuff, some strength training, because as you build muscle, it takes more calories to maintain your muscle within your body, so it helps you burn calories faster if you have more muscle on your body than less. So you probably want to do some weight training and build some lean muscle to help you with keep your calories low. Let's see, what else did I make myself write down here for you? Oh, I also want to make sure that you're not just going by sight. How do you know you're not losing any fat off your legs? Are you measuring them? Because if you're not, start measuring them. Measure around your thighs. Always measure in the exact same place, or else you're not comparing apples to apples. So if you want to know you're measuring in the exact same place, then just measure the distance between your hip bone and your knee, and find the exact middle between your knee and your hip bone by using a measuring tape. So if this is say 20, well, I don't know, 18 inches, say, measure at the 9-inch mark, okay? And always measure in the exact same place. So always measure the distance between your hip and your knee, and find that middle place, and always measure the exact same place so that you can track the exact same area every single time. Because if you're measuring an area that's naturally wider against the next day an area that's naturally thinner, you might get really excited one day, but then if you default back to the area that's a little bit thicker, the next day you'll let yourself down. Why did I gain all this weight when you didn't actually? You just weren't measuring in the same place. So do measure to know whether or not stuff is actually moving down there. And also I would suggest measuring other places on your body as well in the same manner, because if you're losing weight all over, you're going to see a difference in other areas as well. So just measuring just your legs, that's great. You'll know if your legs are changing, but if you want to know if your legs aren't changing and the rest of you is, then measure all the rest of you as well, and you'll see that the rest of you is changing as well. I can guarantee it. That's exactly what you will see. You'll measure your arms, you'll find the exact same spot on your arms between your shoulders and your elbow, and you'll measure that. And every single day, or not every single day, it doesn't happen that fast. It's not that noticeable. It's like kind of like watching grass grow, to be honest. But you will see over time that your arms are getting smaller, as well as your legs are getting smaller, as well as your stomach is getting smaller, as well as your calf is getting smaller, at the same time as your chest is getting smaller, whatever. So measure other parts of your body as well. Let's see. And also keeping your calories below maintenance is a lot easier to do if you're eating primarily healthy foods, healthy one ingredient, whole natural foods, just because there's more nutrition in that kind of food, and you get more nutrition with less calories with that kind of food, so you can stay feeling fuller longer with that kind of food, as opposed to like a donut might have like 500 calories, but because all carbs and all sugar, it pretty much goes through you really quickly. You get a big rush and then you crash like crazy, and then you're really hungry again and you need to eat again. And if you just keep eating that kind of food, you're just doing this all day long, and by the end of the day you've eaten way too many calories. Your body can't lose fat that way. So if you're eating like leafy greens and vegetable, like raw and steamed vegetables, and lean proteins, like even like beef steak, as long as it's a lean cut, or chicken breast, or I even eat pork. I cut the fat off around the outside and eat pork chops with sauerkraut. Some lean cheeses you could eat. Eggs are great, But, make sure that your calories are below maintenance. Weigh and measure for at least the first 2 or 3 months that you're doing this, because a lot of people miscalculate how many calories they're eating because they're not actually weighing and measuring, and people can be surprised at how many calories are actually in a small serving of, say, pasta. It feels like it's not much food because it isn't really, but there's a ton of calories in it. So you need to look things up online, see what certain foods are worth which calories. Even if you're eating whole, natural, healthy foods, you need to know what those are worth, because avocados are full of great healthy fat that help you stay feeling full, but they're pretty caloric. They're really tasty, and I recommend eating them, but they're pretty caloric. I think, what is there, 380 in one avocado? So you need to know what these things are worth, or else trying to keep your calories low is just an exercise in frustration, because you're just guessing. So you need to take the guesswork out of it and make it into a bit more of a science, and get a bit rigid about it, and just learn what these foods are worth. And once you know what these foods are worth, it's in your head, you can start eating a bit more intuitively, because you'll be able to look at food and kind of know what you're eating. But until you go through the exercise of learning it, you'll never know. You'll always just be guessing. So I hope that helped you out, and that's all we've got for you today, but we see you guys again next time. Take care.